Hello everyone, I'm the Story Man, and today I'm doing the third part of What If Yuji was Red Hulk. So, after the second part, this story is now going to take place at the Yasuhashi Bridge arc. So, the trio is assigned to look into a range of mysterious, automated looking deaths. The victims have all died under identical circumstances, standing outside their homes being torn apart by an invisible curse. As they dig deeper, they realize all the victims attended Saitama, not the character, Yorami East Junior High, which happens to be Megumi's old school. They discover a local urban legend about Yosashi Bridge, which happens. Sorry. A notorious bungee jumping spot where delinquent students used to test their courage. The stakes skyrocketed when Megumi discovers that his comatose older sister, Sumiki Fushiguro, went to that exact bridge years ago with the other victims. The curse has already marked her, and it's only a matter of time before it triggers and kills her. Terrified for his sister, Megumi tries to dismiss Yuji and Nabara to handle it alone. But they see right through him and refuse to back down. To force the curse to manifest, the trio goes under the bridge at night and cross into a hidden inlet domain. Once inside, there are ambush on two completely different fronts. Megumi faces off the primary culprit, a mole-like cursed room that has evolved over time by using one of Sukuna's fingers. He is brutally beaten and nearly passes out. However, remember Gojo's advice to stop holding back and die to win rather than die trying to win. Megumi undergoes a massive awakening. For the first time, he unleashes an incomplete version of his ultimate technique. Domain expansion, Shimura Shadow Garden. He completely overwhelms and exercises the curse, securing Sukuna's fingers. While Megumi is fighting inside the mirror, Yuji and Nobara are dragged outside by two human curse hybrids called the Death Painting Wombs, Kenchitsu and Oso. And when they were confronted, Yuji, without a second thought, went into his Hulk form. And when this happened, Essa, when he saw the transformation, asked him, boy, that form of yours, do you happen to be a cursed hybrid yourself, perhaps? With Yuji saying, of course I'm nothing like you. Sorry. And after their little chit chat, Yuji didn't waste any time and went for an attack, with Iso struggling to hold Red Hulk Yuji's punch. He barely dodged it, and then went for a right hook of his own. And unlike Yuji's, it connected it. However, Yuji was not really phased at all at that punch. With Yuji then telling him, it seems like you don't know how to throw a punch. So let me show you with my left hook. And the moment when Yuji finished his sentence, he instantly did what he was gonna say he was gonna do. With Esso being punched in the face, having so much pain right now, he was thrown back 20 meters. And Enso was thrown exactly where Yuji and Nobara fought the brothers and finished them off in canon. Except it was just Yuji and Enso this time. And when Enso recovered, he couldn't believe the power of this boy Yuji. He honestly 100% did not believe that Yuji was a normal human, and I believe he was somewhat like them, which he technically isn't wrong, but has nothing to do with Yuji's unique Hulk powers though. And when Yuji saw Enso recover, he told him, I don't want you, as a somewhat human yourself, to be in more pain. Let me end you quickly, please. With Enso regularly saying, don't you underestimate me, boy. And then this time Enso was the one that went for the attack first. And while this was happening, Enso was thinking, why do I feel like we're connected somehow? And while he was thinking that, he went and put poison on Yuji. However, the moment it contacted with Yuji, the poison instantly went away. Not because of Sukan at this time, but because of his regeneration powers. And even before Enso could understood what just happened, Yuji, for any more waste of a time, coated his fist in curse energy and quickly decapitated Enso to make sure he didn't feel any pain at all. And afterwards, Yuji went where Nobara was at. And when he reached her, the other brother realizes that only Yuji came and started to tear up and instantly forget about Nobara and went for Yuji. However, this obviously left it completely wide open, with Yuji easily exercising it exactly the same way he did with Eso. And when they recovered, they didn't really cover actually. They didn't really have to recover. And after a while, Megumi and Nobara and Yuji caught up together. And just like in canon, when Megumi tried to give Yuji the finger, Sukuna went and ate it. And that's it for this arc. And now we're gonna go with the Shibuya incident arc. And I don't know if I said this before, but this was also the final part of this Widow scenario. And y'all will see soon why. But anyways, the villains, which was led by Surugero or Kenjaku, and the disaster curses Mahito, Jogo, and Daigon. But this time, Hanami was not there. Because like I said in the second part, Yuji killed it with his coated Black Flash flame style fist. However, Kenjaku, along with the others, executed a massive plot to trap thousands of civilians inside a multi-layer barrier in Shibuya. The singular terrifying goal, which is to seal Satoru Gojo. The sorcerers deploy in multiple teams around the perimeter of Shibuya. Gojo entered the barrier alone to minimize civilians' casualties. Down in the subway station, this time it would just be Jugo and Mahami, I think his name is, the one that manipulates other people's bodies, were there this time instead of Jugo and Hanami. And just like in canon, they knew from the start they stand absolutely no chance against Gojo. However, also like in canon, they had a plot, and the curses forced Gojo into a brutal corner. They flood the platform with thousands of humans, using them as living shields so Gojo cannot freely use his infinite void domain without killing everybody. In a brilliant display of skill, Gojo activated his domain for a mere 0.2 seconds, paralyzing everyone on the floor while he manually decapitates 1,000 transfigured humans in less than 5 minutes. However, the sheer mental exhaustion left him open for just a split second. However, this time, just when Kenjaku was about to seal Gojo, at the last second, Gojo was saved by Yuji, who went thinking that he could actually help Gojo, even though he was not supposed to be there with him. But he couldn't shake off the feeling that Gojo, even despite being the strongest, might lose, which essentially was right in this timeline. And while Gojo appreciated Yuji saving him, Mahito, who was there this time, wanted to face Yuji. He went there where Yuji and Gojo was at, and then he told Yuji, well, looks like the red boy, Brute, is here. You think you can save him? Sure, you might save him now, but you're just only stopping the inevitable. However, Yuji came with a comeback saying, I don't know if I hit you in the head a lot. I mean, not that. Yuji saying, I didn't think that hitting you in the face this much would cause you to be this this dumb. I was already alone by myself, beating you up so badly. What makes you think you could defeat me now? With Mahito taunting him still, saying, "We'll see. But why don't you try to face me now?" With Gojo telling him to be careful. And Yuji giving him the nod. Went and transformed into the Red Hulk. And then dragged Mahito to a different place at the Shibuya incident. And this is actually what Mahito exactly wanted it. Because unlike canon, this Mahito training got stronger. And when Mahito crash-landed to the ground, Yuji told him, "It seems like you still haven't learned your lesson. But I guess it doesn't matter either way. Even if you did, I still wouldn't have let you live for long." With Mahito laughing ironically. Yuji didn't understand why until Mahito told him, "If you think I'm still at the same level as before, you're sadly mistaken." With him transforming into his final form, Yuji was shocked. He didn't think Mahito would get this strong. And the moment Mahito realizes Yuji someone underestimated him, he flash-stepped where Yuji was at and told him, "It seems like you still have a lot to learn, boy, even with your unique powers." With Mahito usually having Yuji go blasted off to different walls, multiple kind of walls, like four times he was hit by walls. And when Yuji finally hit the ground, he was coughing up a lot of blood and had a lot of blood, yellow blood on his back. And when Yuji recovered, he said mentally, "How the hell is he this strong?" And Mahito went where Yuji was at by flash stepping, which caught Yuji off guard. And he told him, "It seems like you can't comprehend what's happening right now. So let the fight continue to make you understand that I'm stronger." With him doing the same thing, having Yuji be blasting into different multiple walls over and over again. With Yuji barely standing up now, Mahito flash stepped again towards him, grabbing his neck and then slapping him multiple times. Which made Yuji have a lot of bruises. Even with his healing powers, there's so much it can do to heal Yuji. And Mahito used his own black flash to push Yuji's face into the ground, and it slammed multiple layers on the ground. And Mahito once again flash stepped towards where Yuji is at. And when Mahito used his black flash again, he told him, "Do you have any last words?" With Yuji telling him, "I do." And after when Yuji said those words, he slapped his hands together to do the thunderclap, but it's not the one that he has done before. No, not at all. This time, the thunderclap was a mix of the Black Flash plus Red Hulk's firepower, along with Yuji absorbing all of Mahito's curse energy, and especially the Black Flash that Mahito used against him. And with all of this combined, Yuji's thunderclap shoot out a burst of pure red, flaming Black Flash energy out towards where Mahito was at. And Mahito, the moment it it didn't even touch him, like the technique only halfway through before touching Mahito, he was instantly getting third degrees, even far worse. And basically Mahito got it easy, unlike his victims, because Mahito basically couldn't even render the pain before being disintegrated by basically an attack equivalent to a sun. And this blast that Yuji shoot out to him went all the way through to the sky. Basically because Yuji rearranged the attack up the moment it touched Mahito first, because he don't want no casualties. And after, when the attack dissipated, there was a massive hole where Mahito was standing at. And that hole was showing the moon, with it being a full moon. It was so beautiful. And that was the last thing Yuji said before he collapsed, exhausted, due to the fact that unlike the original Green Hulk, the Red Hulk doesn't have a limitless amount of energy intake he could have. However, this was more than enough for Yuji's battle, and Gojo was able to deal with the rest. And after that, Yuji woke up on a bed with Gojo, Megumi, and Lobaro there. And this time, it wasn't just them, it was everybody else. And in the moment Yuji woke up and saw everybody, he knew that everything went okay. And Megumi said to him, "Took you long enough to wake up." And then Yuji, while standing up, told him, "You can say that again, but cut me some slack, Megumi." And then all of them had a feast cheering. And that's the end of this world of story. Due to Yuji having his powers as the Red Hulk, he was able to change and alter the story. And even though it was shorter, I think this is how it would have played out, due to the fact that Yuji this time had the power to change the future into how he actually wanted it. Unlike in the original, where he had to accept that there were some things that was out of his hand. This time, with the Red Hulk power, he was able to grasp that good future that he wanted it with everybody. And that's it. Thank you for watching, and I'll posting a next What If with Izuku Midoriya.